Welcome back to another video, everyone. I promised you a supercar. Here it is, McLaren 570S, just been delivered on a low loader. It's currently 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm half asleep. I've got a hoodie on because it's absolutely freezing outside. So let's get sorted and we'll go around the car and have a look. So we're a bit more awake now. We've had some breakfast, bits and pieces, so it's a bit better. McLaren 570S, now it is in for full correction. Probably going to be a two-stage. I don't think it's too bad. It's just got your usual swirls and marring from washes and so on. So we're going to correct all of that, get the vehicle as best as we can physically get it for the customer. It's going to be finished with a 3-year ceramic from Coating Farm. I believe we're going to be using Aquacoat Prime. So let's get it outside, get it washed and get it back in the workshop. We'll have an investigation, go around it with some inspection lights, see what state it's actually in under the lighting, and go from there. That's the exterior wash process pretty much done. We are going to put some fallout remover around it shortly and we're going to do the wheels. I normally would do tar and glue remover outside as well, but to be fair, being the size of the vehicle, the shapes, the curves, the body lines, so on, I'm going to do that inside and clay bar it inside and do panel by panel. I think it's just going to be easier. It is quite a warm day, so we'll get it finished and get it inside and we'll finish it off.
Miles away from the nearest city. There's no lights, all dark, but no matter what, you choose to stay here with me. Can you hear that? Our life soundtrack, the love we never had. So let go, give in to the glow. So I say run, I run so we can get lost together. Run to where we belong. Oh, where we belong. together. Run.
So clay bar is probably the most boringest part of any detail of any vehicle, I think. I don't think anybody likes doing it. It's boring, it's time consuming, and it's just fiddly, personally. We have already done the driver's side, and as you can see, there's not exactly a lot of contamination come off of it. Vehicle is really clean. It lives in a garage. It's only done 7,000 miles in 3 years, so it doesn't get used a lot naturally. For this particular process, we are using Autobrite's fine clay mixed with Berry Blast QD, which also works as a clay lube when diluted correctly. So we'll finish clay bar on this side, and then we can have a look at the paint, see what we've actually got to deal with, what state it's in. As you can see, there's a few bits there sticking out. It's not in great particular shape. I don't think, in all honesty, McLaren paint is brilliant when it leaves the factory anyway. So that, and then 3 years of usage, making it needing some love. So yeah, we'll clay bar this side and we'll go from there. It's now 12:30 on day one of the McLaren. We have fully washed, we have decontaminated, so tar and glue, fallout remover, and clay barred the whole vehicle. Been back around it again with IPA to remove any residues from the clay bar side of things, from the tar and glue, so on and so forth. It's now time to have a little inspection and see what we've got in the paintwork. So flip you back round. It might be a little bit dark because we have to have these LED strips off, and we'll go from there. Told you it was going to be dark, apart from the little bit of light that's coming in the corner. So what have we got? Lots of marring in the wing, as you can see, swirl marks. Bonnet is obviously covered in marring, swirl marks again. Now it has had, I believe it's been back to McLaren and had some bits done paintwork wise, because it wasn't looking too good after a year or so apparently. I know it's had some bits replaced, I don't know what, but it did have some bits done. So plenty of marring, scratches. There was a couple of deeper ones, I can't remember where I saw them now. But there we've got a bird poo stain on the handle, just about to see it. Just all round, I think marring, we've got some deeper imperfections there. I don't know if you can pick them up on the camera. But all round, just general marring. Here we go, look at that. So I know there was definitely a, there you go, scratch there. We'll get that out for him. And just an all round nice lot of marring. Bad wash techniques and no protection. So yeah, it's going to look absolutely insane when it's finished. Let me put the lights back on. Here we go. It looks fine in these lights. Looks amazing. It's definitely going to be one of those cars that when it's done, it's going to look absolutely insane. It should be like a mirror. Regarding the orange peel side of it, it's not really that bad. I know a lot of new cars now suffer really bad with orange peel where they're not flat and polished. Most manufacturers, let's be honest, don't care anymore. They are get the cars in and out, get your money, job done. They're not built how they used to be. Look at that bonnet in that light. That's a bit bad. But so it's time for some lunch, and then we will get the compounds out and have a play and see what works best.
To where we belong. Oh, where we belong. Oh, where we belong.
we've done some sample patches and we've figured out which compounds we're going to use, what combos, so on. We have done half of the roof and the A pillar, which goes obviously into the back of the B pillar. It is absolutely immaculate now. I'm over the moon with the results. We are going to be able to pretty much get away with doing a single stage on this. The paint is fantastic to work with. I've never done a McLaren paint, so that's a new one. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We'll get the light out, we'll turn you around, we'll have a chat about the compounds, what we're using, and yeah, see you in a sec. So as you can see, we've got compounds, we've got pads, so on the table. We are going to do most of the vehicle with Auto Brights Enrich. Now this is a Cut 5 and Gloss 8 compound. It's in the middle, it's great for most single stages, unless the paint is really, really hard. Like an early VW, like my own van, for instance. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check it, you will see it. It's a nightmare to do, VW paint, so that stuff is not very good for that because it doesn't cut hard enough. It's great on the McLaren paint, to be fair. 1 or 2 passes is removing any imperfections, swirls, holograms, and the paint is immaculate. Now you'll also spot H9 Kosh Chemi. We are using this purely because it's a great high cut, but it's not over the top cut. For instance, Auto Brights Restore is a great cutting compound. It is very coarse, but it will leave polishing marks, so you will have to refine it afterwards. Whereas H9 is a good enough cut that it's sufficient that I don't need to refine it afterwards. It finishes, breaks down really, really well. And there's a couple of things on the roof where I've used that and it's been great. So that's why we're going to use H9. Something I want to talk about that a lot of people don't really know about or don't understand, especially if you're new to machine polishing: heat control for your pads. Hence why there is 2 small DA3 pads and 1 on the LR15. The bigger pads are not so bad, especially on this car, because I won't really use the LR15. Most of the vehicle is going to be done with the DA3 due to the curves, the body line. If we have a look, as you can see, you're not going to get an LR15 in that gap with the 5-inch pads on. So realistically, the LR15 is only going to do the roof, the bonnet, maybe the bottom of that door, and maybe this section here. The rest of it is going to be done with a 3-inch pad. So yeah, great fun. It's going to take a bit of time, unfortunately, but it'll be amazing when it's done. The results are incredible. But heat control, using multiple pads is a definite must. I see a lot of people online, especially on the Auto Bright page, about the pads breaking up and the glue coming off and stuff. It's because they've got too hot and not been allowed to left to cool. Hence why 2 pads, switch them in between, switch them regularly, blow them out, clean them out, get rid of the dust as well, because if they clog up, they can't breathe, so then the heat builds up and can't escape. The DA3s, the pads do get really, really hot very quickly because of obviously the size of them, and obviously they're spinning really quick. Obviously working with compounds on paint, so the heat transfer to the pad is one of the reasons why you have to do it. Now I have a bucket with water sprayed on, which is on the side, and an air blower. I blow the pad off into the bucket. The water in the bucket catches the dust, which then stops the dust going in the air and then back on the vehicle. Obviously this is something that you don't want. You have to be very good with residue control and heat control for the pads. So 2 pads, clean your pads out very often, whether you have a brush, I have one somewhere. There we go, pad brush, to clean them out, or an airline if you don't have a brush, or vice versa. It will help your pads last longer and give you better results, obviously, because you're not transferring dust back to the panel, which is going to reduce the risk of marring back into the paint and so on. So let's grab a light and you can see that this pillar's been done and the roof has now been done. In a heart-stopping moment, I did take sandpaper to the roof of this to get rid of a scratch. Nobody wants scratches, so we had to get rid of it. As you can see, for a single stage, I'm super, super happy with that. It's not going to turn into a full correction. Oh, we've got one there we missed. No. It is fantastic. The flake in this paint as well is really, really good. Once this is coated and outside, it will look absolutely insane. So, but that is all we've done so far, is literally that pillar up to the rear quarter and half of the roof. So that is it for today. So we'll be back bright and early for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is Sunday the 26th, so you will actually be watching this on my birthday. So yeah, I'm spending my birthday in lockdown on a McLaren. It's not bad life really. So yeah, stay safe everyone, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you on part 2.